What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Hope each of you are well and blessed. As we know, Thanksgiving is upon us. Actually, it's next week. And a lot of people have an interest. Hey, I love Thanksgiving. I love eating, love being with my family, etc. But I really don't want to overdo it. I want to be sensitive to the weight that I've already lost. And this is not just individuals who've come through the 4-day turnip or the journey, but there may be other of you who've done different programs or different things to lose weight, and you just want to not blow your results for Thanksgiving. Well, this video is going to help you, and I'm going to just cover a couple things, and I hope it'll be something that you can, of course, take with you. Number one, you have to understand a holiday is exactly that, a day. It's something that happens on a day. Most people completely sabotage themselves because when Thanksgiving comes, or November gets here, December gets here, New Year's gets here, in our mind, it's almost like one long weekend mentally. You let your hair down, you're going to social events, you're going to corporate parties, you're going to out to dinner more, and you're indulging in more calories. So what happens is, it's not what you do on Thanksgiving that sabotages you, or even Christmas, or even New Year's, but it's all the stuff you do before and after. All right, so the first thing that you have to understand is nothing's wrong with going with your family and having a nice meal, but you want to keep it in perspective, and you want to compartmentalize your splurge. Just like you do when you go to the mall. If you get that big ticket item, that expensive purse, that expensive suit, shoes, whatever it is, most of us don't do that every day. We pick our time. We pick when we have a little bit extra. We pick when we have some reserves, or we get a bonus, or whatever it is, and you compartmentalize it. You don't go to the mall and just tear it up every single day. Likewise, in terms of your calories, it's the same way. You can't eat like that every single day. You can't do that and expect not to gain weight and not to expect to sabotage your results. So you want to keep that in mind. It's not a hollow month. It's a holiday. All right. That's number one. The second thing that you have to understand is when the day of Thanksgiving gets here, there are a couple things that you want to do. Number one, you don't want to fast. Most people fast and pervert the whole concept of it on Thanksgiving. They want to fast, they want their stomachs to be empty so they can gorge themselves with food. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to be certain when you get up that you get a good solid breakfast, a solid meal that's good, that's healthy for you based upon whatever your nutritional profile is. And when you go to dinner, you don't want to go to dinner starving. You want to go to dinner, I'm not saying full, but you want to go to dinner having eaten something earlier in the day to where you're not just ravenous. Because when you're in that state, it pushes you to overeat. It's almost impossible. You literally set yourself up for failure. The second thing that you want to do on that day is you want to be certain that you're hydrated. Get your water in. The third thing you want to do, get a good workout in on that day. All right. These are all things that are going to help the overall caloric expenditure as well as the caloric intake. All right. Weight gain is about calories in and calories out. If you're eating more than you're burning, you're going to gain. If you're burning more than what you're eating, you're going to lose. If you're burning what you're eating, you're going to stay the same. So that's what you're doing. You're being mindful of that. The last thing, and a lot of you may not like this, leave the leftovers at mama's house. Leave them there. Don't take them home with you. All you're going to do is set yourself up to have more calories of rich foods, cakes, and sweets. When you go to mom's house, when you go to grandma's house, sit down, have a plate, have a serving, have a piece of cake, have a piece of pie. Don't eat all the cake, all the pie, because what you're doing is you're overindulging yourself, and then you're going to be miserable. And nobody likes that feeling when you're so stuffed you can't move and you feel down, and you got to take your belt off. You can't tie your shoes. Nobody likes that. You want to be able to enjoy Thanksgiving. The way you enjoy it is when you eat something, but you don't overdo it, and then you wake up the next day and you haven't gained an exorbitant amount of weight, but you still feel good. All right. The last thing is when Friday comes after Thanksgiving, realize Friday is not Thanksgiving. This is the day after Thanksgiving. So let me go back to my mindset of how it was before I even got to Thanksgiving. When you go back into your normal routine, eating healthily, doing the things that you need to do after Thanksgiving, then you can enjoy yourself on Thanksgiving. And guess what? You got another month before the next holiday. So whatever you gain on Thanksgiving, if you go back to your regular routine, that weight will be off of you in a matter of days if you're doing it properly. However, when you're the type of person that you're going from this social event to this party, to this corporate gathering, and you're drinking eggnog, you having a couple martinis here, and you getting some chicken wings there, you're going out and all family members are in, that's what allows the holidays to be so poorly managed in terms of our expectations and how we kind of sabotage ourselves. So we want to keep those things in mind. Also understand that in order to establish a healthy relationship with food, which is what we teach people who come through the 40-day Journey 3.0 Plus process, is stop equating fun or partying with eating or drinking. They're two separate actions. You don't have to go to a social event and eat anything and you can still have a great time. You don't have to go to a party and necessarily drink yourself into an oblivion having had a great time. You can be around family members, you can be around friends, you can be around loved ones and not partake in those things and still create great memories without it compromising the lifestyle that you want for yourself. All right, lastly, and I'm done, you have to understand there are going to be haters everywhere. When you go to mama's house or when you go to the party or when you go to whatever it is that you choose to go to and you don't eat or you only have one plate or you're eating a small amount of food or whatever it is that you choose to eat, understand that some people are going to be butthurt over that. And what happens is a lot of people will project their inability to do what you are able to do. And what happens is they'll project that onto you. And hey, have a piece of cake, have a piece of pie, get another plate. And see, what they're doing is they're trying to get you to partake in something so they can feel better about their overindulgence. You have to understand this is the psychology of people. I don't think most people mean this. I don't think they understand this. I just think it's just the nature of how people are. People don't like to be miserable by themselves. And I do think that there's an element to overeating that causes most people to be regretful and miserable to a certain degree. But it's a switch that is hard for us to turn off because, we don't like how it makes us feel, but people oftentimes lack the discipline to not overdo it. So it's this ongoing conundrum. So you got to keep that in mind. You make the choice for your life. You do what's best for you. But when Thanksgiving comes, enjoy it, but don't overdo it. All right, it's only one day. This holiday season, there are 3 days. It's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, and it's New Year's. All right, what derails people is not what you do on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, but it's what you do before and after Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Christmas. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. You got the point. I hope this helps. Questions and comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.